Greetings, fellow travelers. This week, we continue our journey into the layered realms of sight, turning our focus to the mental and emotional faculties that shape how we perceive the world and ourselves. These aspects of sight are deeply influenced by our experiences, emotions, and conditioning. Powerful forces that can either illuminate or obscure our inner and outer vision. Water offers a perfect metaphor for these inner dynamics. Depending on our mental and emotional state, the same water can evoke different feelings and meanings. When calm, it mirrors a serenity, offering reflection and clarity. But in times of turmoil, its vastness can feel overwhelming, even threatening. One person might see freedom in its expanse, while another sees isolation. The footage accompanying this exploration reflects this diversity of perception. As you watch snippets of a boat ride, imagine the many interpretations of this same scene. Each wave, each moment is shaped by the mental and emotional lens through which we view it. Just as our life experiences color the way we perceive our world. Mental and emotional sight often act as the lens through which we interpret life's events. Yet, this lens can become cloudy by trauma, fear, grief, or conditioning. When derailed, these faculties may limit our perspective, keeping us trapped in cycles of self-doubt, negativity, or confusion. However, with awareness and intentionality, we can recalibrate this lens, unlocking clarity and resilience. Consider the story of Maya Angelou, a woman whose life exemplifies the transformative potential of mental and emotional sight. As a young girl, she experienced the profound trauma of sexual abuse. This event led her to silence her voice for nearly 5 years, believing that her words had caused harm. During this period, her mental and emotional sight became narrowed by guilt, fear, and pain. Yet, within this silence, her inner vision began to awaken. Maya Angelou immersed herself in literature, finding solace in words and stories that expanded her perspective. Over time, she transformed her pain into poetry and prose, creating works that resonated with truth, resilience, and beauty. Her journey reminds us that even in the face of profound challenges, we have the power to shift our mental and emotional perspectives, to see beyond the immediate and imagine the possible. She once said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must never be defeated." This encapsulates the resilience of emotional and mental sight, the ability to hold space for both difficulty and hope, to find meaning in suffering, and to envision a brighter path forward. Our mental and emotional sight can be easily disrupted, obscuring our ability to see life with clarity and balance. Trauma, for instance, creates deep emotional wounds that can distort how we view ourselves and the world. Environmental conditioning, shaped by the beliefs and attitudes we absorb from those around us, may impose limits on our perspective, preventing us from seeing beyond inherited patterns. Similarly, fear and anxiety can narrow our focus, keeping us locked in cycles of negativity and apprehension. Grief and loss, when unresolved, anchor us to the past, making it difficult to imagine a hopeful future. Even self-doubt, that incessant voice of negative self-talk, can warp our perception of our worth and potential, leading to hesitation and stagnation. The good news is that, like Maya Angelou, we can cultivate practices that help us realign our mental and emotional sight. In order to shift our perspective, we must first practice awareness, recognizing when our mental and emotional sight has been clouded is the essential first step. Once we have identified this shift, we can begin reframing, changing the way we interpret our circumstances to open up new possibilities. By embracing imagination, we allow ourselves to envision a better future, using creativity and hope to guide our next steps. However, it is important to recognize that shame, blame, and similar emotional anchors can deeply paralyze us. These feelings often tie us to false beliefs about our worth and potential, creating a cycle of worthlessness that obscures our true vision. When we become mired in shame, we limit our ability to see beyond our immediate struggles and begin to believe that we are defined by our mistakes or circumstances. These limiting beliefs hold us back from realizing the fullness of our innate value and power. To break free from these destructive anchors, we must consciously choose to move toward healing and empowerment. Incorporating resilience practices such as journaling, mindfulness, and connecting with supportive communities. These can help us strengthen our emotional and mental clarity, enabling us to shift our mindset and approach challenges with renewed perspective and determination. When we think about sight, not just with our eyes, but with our minds and hearts, we realize that what we perceive in the world around us is often colored by our inner states. Our mental and emotional balance plays a crucial role in shaping how we see and interpret life. Imagine trying to see through a foggy window. This is akin to how we might try to navigate the world when our emotional and mental faculties are unbalanced. Just like a clouded lens distorts our vision, imbalanced emotions and unprocessed trauma can skew how we perceive ourselves, others, and the world. Mental and emotional clarity is foundational for clear sight because how we feel and think about things influences what we focus on and how we interpret those experiences. Mental imbalances such as anxiety, stress, or depression can significantly narrow our focus, making it difficult to see beyond immediate fears or negativity. This narrowed focus often causes us to miss broader perspectives and opportunities, limiting our ability to engage with the richness of the world around us. Much like how physical sight can be impaired by disease or injury, an unsettled mental state can become an unseen barrier that affects what we notice, appreciate, and understand. Similarly, emotional imbalances, feelings like shame, guilt, anger, or resentment, act as powerful filters through which we process life events. These emotional filters can distort truths or exaggerate problems, shaping a view of the world that may not reflect reality. By placing limitations on our inner vision, these emotions cloud our judgment and prevent us from perceiving situations with clarity and full complexity. Together, these mental and emotional imbalances create a lens through which we experience life, often obscuring the beauty and possibilities that exist around us. Our life experiences, whether rooted in early childhood trauma, societal pressures, or adverse environments, can either nurture or hinder our mental and emotional health, which in turn impacts how we see the world. Growing up in an environment where safety and trust were compromised may lead to an ongoing sense of threat or fear, distorting how we perceive interactions, opportunities, and even our potential. This idea aligns with Maya Angelou's journey, where her early experiences of trauma and self-doubt were eventually transformed by her decision to shift her mental and emotional perspective. Through conscious effort, she learned to see herself not as a victim of her circumstances, but as someone with inherent worth, capable of affecting change. Her transformation was not just external, it was a shift in her inner sight, recognizing her power to reframe her experiences. If we return to the metaphor of a clouded window or foggy glasses, the key to clearing that lens lies in improving our mental and emotional clarity. Just as healing emotional wounds can help remove the filters of pain, shame, or guilt, mental clarity can expand our vision of possibilities, opening up new paths and perspectives that we might have otherwise overlooked. By cultivating emotional resilience and addressing unresolved trauma or negative belief systems, we allow ourselves to see more clearly, connect deeply with others, and live with intention. By engaging in activities like journaling, mindfulness, and connecting with supportive communities, we can foster mental and emotional resilience. These practices serve as tools to clear out our inner sight, enabling us to perceive both the world around us and the truths within ourselves. When we take the time to shift our inner lenses, we cultivate clarity and open ourselves to the potential that lies beyond our immediate challenges. This process helps us move from distorted views clouded by fear or negativity to a broader, more truthful perspective of our experiences and possibilities. As we continue our journey of inner sight, let us remember that mental and emotional balance is not just something we strive for in a vacuum. It is deeply connected to the clarity of our vision. Our perception of others and the world is shaped by the state of our hearts and minds. By clearing emotional clutter and transforming limited mental beliefs, we enhance our ability to see deeply, understand more fully, and engage with life meaningfully. In the same way that adjusting the focus on binoculars brings distant landscapes into sharper view, adjusting our emotional and mental perspectives can lead to greater clarity in our understanding of the world, ourselves, and each other. The question then becomes, how are you shifting your lens? How are you clearing away the fog to reclaim your sight, your true vision of what is possible? One of the most challenging aspects of mental and emotional health is that it is often influenced by factors entirely beyond our control. Genetics, environment, traumatic experiences, or even chemical imbalances. These imbalances might be inherited, or they may arise from external factors like poor nutrition or substance use, both of which can significantly affect our brain chemistry. While research into these connections is ongoing, it is clear that what we consume and how we treat our bodies play a role in our mental and emotional well-being. Unlike physical health, where a broken bone or organ failure is met with immediate support and care, mental and emotional struggles are frequently shrouded in stigma. People facing these challenges can be ridiculed, dismissed, or misunderstood, adding an additional layer of pain and isolation to their experience. Yet, just as we treat physical ailments with compassion and action, we can approach mental and emotional health with the same sense of urgency and care. Recognizing that these struggles are not a weakness but a human reality is the first step. For those affected, identifying safe spaces, whether in therapy, support groups, or even trusted friendships, can be transformative. And for those around them, practicing non-judgmental listening and offering encouragement instead of criticism can make all the difference. Normalizing conversations about mental and emotional health is part of clearing the societal fog that keeps so many suffering in silence. By openly acknowledging these challenges, we begin to foster a culture of understanding and action. One where seeking help is a strength, not a shame. As we close, I invite you to consider, where has your mental or emotional sight been derailed in the past? How did you find your way back? And how might you use those experiences to shift your perspective moving forward? Next week, we will explore practical tools to nurture these faculties, further building clarity and resilience as we navigate life's complexities. Let Maya Angelou's journey be a beacon, reminding us that even in silence, our inner vision can grow, and from pain, beauty can arise.